So, students will discuss the methods of the training which are being imparted by the organization or the employer sides towards the training. So, on the job training consists of namely that is job instruction training, apprenticeship training, and internship training. So, from the very word job instruction training states that whenever a trainee is placed on the job, whenever a trainee is placed at the workplace, the instructor or the superior instructs all the commands as how to perform the job. So, when the trainee reaches the workplace, first of all, the instructor duty is to put the trainee at ease so that there is no nervousness, so there is no anxiety. So, to put the workers at ease and to state the stress, the emphasize the importance of job. So, as I have written, this job instruction training is a job which is doing step by step, means the instructor will instruct the trainee step after step. One step is completed, then move on to the next step. Not that all the steps will be given at once. One step after the other. So it's written here, job instruction training or step by step learning. It is very much useful and appropriate for the repetitive and routine task in an organization. So those training who are placed at a job for the routine and repetitive task, job instruction training is most widely used and accepted method because it helps the trainee to cope up, because the instructor always trains in accordance with the pace. Not that instructor will instruct all the things at a time. So it is step by step learning method. So there are some factors which influences the working of the trainee when the trainee arrives at the workplace or the organization. So the instructor or the superior who instructs the trainee has to make the employees very ease, comfortable, no nervousness. So first step is preparing the trainee. First the instructor has to prepare the trainee for what job the trainee is assigned for what job the trainee is allotted for. So it is preparing the trainee for instruction, preparing the training so the trainee should be put at very ease, comfortable, no nervousness, and securing interest and attentions. First, they have to secure the interest and attention of the trainee and lay down all the importance, emphasize the stress for the job. And then after, the instructor has to clearly spell out, clearly lay down all the rules, all the steps one after the other, how the job is to be conducted. And the job instructor has also one thing, that when the instructor instructs, the instructor has to monitor the working affairs of the trainee. If there are any deficiency or shortcomings, errors, the instructor will have to observe and rectify those. So we move to the next factors which influences, that is presenting the job operation, presenting the job, how the job is to be continued, how the job is to be operated and conducted in terms of what the trainee is required to do, what the trainee is required to do at that step, as how to function, how to operate the machines, how to handle the machines, each step at a time. Because this job instruction training is known as step by step learning method. So all the steps, no trainee can instill, no trainee can acquire all the steps at a time. So each step at a time counts. So the trainee has to, the instructor has to make sure that each step at a time has to be acquired by the trainee so that the trainee can perform very well. So preparing the job operation instruction in terms of what the trainee is required to do, and the trainee is put on work site, and each step of the job is clearly defined, clearly uh, understandable in a very easy language what the trainee is required to do. So each step is be clearly defined and stated and clearly made understandable to the trainee, so that trainee can conduct the work at very ease, very smoothly, how to continue the job, how to operate the job, how to handle the machines, etc. Now, only just spelling out the steps is not adequate. Only just making the steps known to the trainee is not enough. The instructor has to always monitor, has to always vigilant, so that the instructor will monitor the work, will oversee the work of the trainee, and if there are any deficiencies or any shortfall or any error or mistakes is being committed by the trainee, so the instructor can provide the solutions, so it can be rectified later. So applying and trying out the instructions so as to judge and to determine how much effective and how much smoothly the instructor has said to the trainee, and how much trainee has been implementing those steps in the work. So these instruction what has been said by the instructor towards the trainee, the instructor judges, determines and evaluates that what the trainee is doing and how much it is perfect. And if there are any errors or any mistakes, then the instructor has to take command and make one the things again, make them understand to the trainee, so that there are no errors or mistakes, and that can be rectified. Now, moving on to the next method of on the job training is internship training. Internship training is a type of is a method of training in the on the job training the where the where the companies and the educational institutions cooperate and collaborate. Like in the case of, there are plenty of trainee who go to the real work site, real organization site after completing their study. Take the example of doctor who have first completed their MBBS, and they go to vocational institutions for their vocational courses, where they learn all the activities, how to work. So this is a internship training where the educational institutions and the vocational in the company tie up together, where they cooperate, where they are freshly trainee, where they go to the real actual work site, where they can practice, where after finishing and completing their study they go to practice, because they after completing they need to have some training also as how to complete and conduct the task. So it is a joint program of training in which educational institutions and the business firms cooperate. They tie up, because there are plenty of trainees, the plenty of students who after passing out their professional courses such as MBBS, CA, CS, ICWI, after completing their study, after either in the course of their completing the study and degree, the educational institutions have a tie-up and cooperate with these companies and firms, where they send their students to acquire the skills, to acquire the knowledge, to acquire the aptitudes, to acquire all the related things and skills, so that they can further be helpful and beneficial to the training. So newly recruited employees, as I have stated earlier, mentioned, newly recruited employees are sent to the vocational institutions, because when they have when they have completed their theoretical, all the related to the educational thing, but after educational things they have to go for the practical at the real organization or the real workplace. So after the completion of theoretical training, They also work in the factory or some company or organization where the trainee can receive or acquire the training period where they can update their knowledge, enhance their knowledge, skills, aptitudes. So this method is very helpful to provide a good equilibrium, a good balance between the theory, the practical knowledge and the theoretical knowledge, and it serves very good in the uh, updation of the candidate or the trainee, where the candidate has finished their theoretical education and they go for the practical one, and they become interns in the renowned companies where they serve as an intern, and they acquire all the sets of skills and knowledge. And it is very much uh, found in these courses such as I've written here: MBBS, CICWA, company secretary, etc. Now we'll move to the next point, that is apprenticeship training, but in the next video.